The Banking Alliance for Financial Inclusion, otherwise known as BAFFI, is on a mission to harness financial markets toward the abolition of poverty. Let us illustrate. For a hard day's work selling vegetables, an individual like Daniel on a side street in Kampala will earn 10 euros on average, before expenses. These earnings allow for a tiny apartment several kilometers away, where rent is more affordable. Without a bank account for making deposits, there's a looming risk of theft and other struggles while keeping those earnings on the long journey home. Daniel must hide his hard-earned shillings in his home while they're further at risk from theft, natural disasters, and political instability. In spite of the precarious situation, many people living in the same circumstance around the world remain optimistic about their futures. But their children's education, future earnings, and prospect for growth remains astonishingly bleak. The disasters they face are manifested with such great regularity that leave millions of families worldwide trapped in a vicious cycle of poverty. Dreams are often shattered. People like Renee, who live in wealthy nations, like the G8, enjoy a strikingly contrasted existence. He can easily earn 500 euros a day on average, before expenses on a side street in his nation's capital. With the help of ubiquitous banking outlets, these earnings don't travel far before landing safe and secure in a savings account. This secure lifestyle maximizes safety, predictability, and planning for the future. Environmental and political disruptions are quite unlikely to derail Renee's progress towards his dreams. Assured of a stellar education for his children and attainment of greater success expand the gap between people like Renee and Daniel. We're leaving a large portion of our world behind. So how do we close that gap and elevate Daniel's experience to be more like Renee's? Simple, through banking access. Okay, it's a little more complicated than that. So how do we get started? We build a system based on BAFFI's plan, which can immensely benefit everyone. Bankers, who cares about them, right, gain a huge global market of more than 2 billion people who currently don't have banking access. It also creates a massive new source of revenue for service providers. These companies and entrepreneurs are the ones that go out to neighborhoods and market stands like Daniel's to make it easy for him to deposit his earnings. Daniel can trust the system because it will be designed with transparency in mind. As soon as his local banker accepts his earnings, he can check his account to see that it's there. He can even look back through his account history to see every transaction, verifying that nobody is charging any fees without his knowledge. So now that Daniel has easy banking access, what does his life look like? Well, Daniel is special, but not unique. At 10 euros a day, his income is similar to millions of his countrymen. So, they've boarded the same happy train as Daniel. Easy banking access for everyone. Daniel checks his bank account daily after each deposit and watches it grow, slowly but steadily, and certainly much faster than before. And hope begins to grow. The picture of his dream isn't quite so hard to visualize anymore. All across his country, access to basic banking services is allowing millions of ordinary people to gain greater control over their lives. Vicious cycles have been transformed into virtuous cycles, and the erosion of dreams is supplanted by the erosion of poverty. The Banking Alliance for Financial Inclusion, removing exclusivity from financial markets for the betterment of all people everywhere.